show filled with music, messages, laughs, and stories of love.
Our theme song was produced by the incomparable DJ Shaheen, and each week we'll bring you music from other independent recording artists. We'll bring you information from business owners and messages of love from ministry leaders. We'll feature books, authors, upcoming special events, and so much more. So get out your text messages and your tweets. Tell all your friends and family to log on because they'll be in for a very special treat as we bring you today's episode of Getting Over the Hump with Angie B and Bartee.
Now, come and check us out live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Getting Over the Hump with Angie B.
That's me, and this is my hubby Bartee. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, this show is going to be a little different than others, as you can probably hear. There's no music. I forgot I changed the cord
Lord Jesus.
out, and it's in the garage. I got a show to do tomorrow, so.
He's so honest.
My apology, but if you want to, you can sing along.
Yeah.
If you remember the beat by Shaheen.
DJ Shaheen. You remember the beat. This show is also a little bit different because this episode is dedicated to our grandma Liz, who we lost on October 31st. Her services will take place in Detroit, Michigan next Wednesday. And we ask for traveling mercy as we all leave her service is next Wednesday. Did I say that?
Correct.
And we all leave on Monday to go to Detroit to represent. And so tonight I wanted to share a little bit about my grandma Liz, some of the lessons that we learned from her and lessons that we learned from our grandmamas. If you have a lesson that you would like to share, something that you learned from your mama or your grandmama, or just a lesson of lesson of how to get over the hump of grief. We know that the Bible tells us weeping may endure for the night, joy comes in the morning. And I know it ain't morning for me yet. And I'm still in the night version. And there's a portion of your mind that tells you, okay, she's in a better place. Okay, you will see her again. Okay, all that stuff. But in the weeping may endure for the night time, it just it's just a little different. So we wanted to try to share some lessons learned and some lessons of encouragement. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay with me.
Okay. All right. So before we get started, you want to tell everybody why we do the show?
Well, we do this show in hopes that by making conversation that someone out there perhaps might be able to use something that we might say or have done, or some of our guests, or even some of our viewers. Getting over the hump, it doesn't mean that there's always an obstacle of something that you could see. It could be something that you don't see coming.
Something that you feel.
Something that you feel, and you contemplating on whether or not you should do this or do that. Well, again, but remember, what we say is just for entertainment purposes only. We don't really give any advice. All we do is tell you stay prayed up in hopes that maybe we might say something or do something or wear something even to that effect that you might like. And hey, let's try this. Yeah. Let's try that, or not do anything at all. I think they kind of messed up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, we out here, so let us know sometimes how you feel. Yeah. And definitely I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Well, that's for sure.
and Angie, I'm sure she's
I'm
in
gonna pray over
between.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna pray over it. I'm gonna pray over it. Hi, Jasmine. Thanks for being here. Hi, Angeline. Glad you're watching. So let me start off by telling you just a little bit about Grandma Liz. Maddie Elizabeth Bennett was born in 1931. She just celebrated her 90th birthday in April. And when we went to Detroit for our book tour in May, this one got her a bouquet of flowers. Were they roses? I know they were pink.
Roses.
Yeah.
We both got her a bouquet of roses.
You thought about it. I just was ready to get a hug. You know, I was just, come on, let's just go. And so I remember we walked into her apartment and he presented her with these roses. And then it hit me. You know, we always say, give people their roses while they can smell them. We did that.
Yes, we did.
We did that.
And they always, you know, while we talking about that part of the griefing, you know, a lot of people put off on seeing someone.
Oh, Lord.
That they haven't seen. And when the person is deceased.
You ain't talking about nobody.
No, I'm not talking about nobody. I mean, that's how the world is. I mean, sometimes I've done that, you know, and never get a chance to say goodbyes in whichever way you want to say your goodbyes. But then when once that happens, then, you know, all you can do is, you know, try to keep your memories alive.
And try to do better next time. Take it as a lesson learned.
Well, yeah, take it as a lesson learned and try to, you know, try to see the people. I really believe in that, you know. I'm going to try to see as many of my friends as I can. And you know, while I'm living.
We were just talking about this the other day. It seemed like the older you get, the more you talk to people more often.
Yeah.
It seemed like when you're younger, you may talk to people once a month, every 6 months, every other holiday. But lately, the old folks be calling each other like once a week.
Yeah. When you get older, everybody want to talk. You know,
maybe twice a day. You know.
Yeah. When they get that age, they want to. Yeah. But do that. Give them their roses. Whatever you want to give them. It got to be roses. Just for me, you know, just get with me and we laugh and joke and do what we do.
Yeah.
And that's good for me. But I know everybody deal with grief differently. So, but if you can, I mean, you still can actions speak louder than words. So, you know, or flowers or anything else after it's over with.
Yeah.
So try to, if you can, take care of your business and see your people, your friends, associates, whatever you want to call them now before that day comes.
I know my dad gets so happy that he'll call me and he'll say, guess who called me today? Or guess who texted me today? He'll call me just to say that he heard from one of the grandchildren. He's just so excited. And so when you realize that small effort of a call or a text, what you doing while you're sitting on the toilet? Call somebody right quick. You know, hit mute when you flush, but there's always, you can make time to spend time. He don't hit mute.
I tell you, I'm in the bathroom.
You hear the stream and everything.
Yeah,
But anyhow, try to, and I know this is probably sounding like it's nagging to young people when they say, call your auntie, call your uncle, call your, you know, young people. Okay, yeah, we'll get around to it. But I tell you what, I'm dealing with grown folks right now who didn't do that, and the guilt that they feel and trying to justify it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I want to give a shout out to the great granddaughters of Maddie Elizabeth Bennett. Grandma Liz had a couple of great granddaughters, Angeline and Jasmine, and they probably didn't even know her first name was Maddie. Years ago, she told me she ain't like that name because it sounded like an old woman name, and she wasn't old, so it
is an old woman name. She was old. She's 92.
Yeah, no, she's 90.
I mean, 90, that's old.
But when she was a kid, she didn't want to make all.
Yeah, that's an old name.
But when you're born in 19, what I say, 31? Yeah, you're going to have some old people names. But I remember one time when I realized there was an Elizabeth in the Bible. And I remember calling Grandma Liz and saying, "Is your name Elizabeth?" And she just laughed. She laughed, and I said, "Like the one in the Bible, you know." And so I wrote a sermon a couple of years ago about my rubies, my pearls, and my Elizabeth, because I had 3 grandmothers growing up. I had Ruby Clyde Henderson. Don't tell her I told her middle name because she didn't like her middle name. Ruby Clyde Henderson. And I had Annie Pearl Beaver, who I still have in Orlando, Florida. And I had Grandma Liz. So that was my Ruby, my Pearl, and my Elizabeth. And I'm going to have to go find that sermon, maybe create it as an article for an upcoming issue of Triumphant Magazine. It pretty much was things that I learned from Grand Ruby and Grandma Pearl and Grandma Liz. But Grandma Liz was cute when it came to her great granddaughters. What they doing, what they wearing, who they seeing, who they, you know. She was just fascinated by them. And then recently, you know, when we would go to see her, I'd call my daughters on a webcam and say, "Grandma Liz, look," and she'd be like, "Is that Jasmine? She just done. Oh, she's beautiful." And then Angela would get on the phone, and you know, then Grandma Liz couldn't get a word in edgewise, and then we hang up. "Oh, that child got a lot to say, don't she?" I said, "Yep, she just like her mama, just like her." I mean, she could remember them as babies and be excited about them as grown women.
Yeah.
And then don't let us put her on the phone with Ricky Ray, with Jasmine's husband. What she say about Ricky Ray?
No, I don't remember.
Ooh, that's a chocolate man. And I love me some chocolate men. And then
she that about all
and then she look at you.
Same thing about me. You see, I was her only grandson, though.
Yeah.
She called me grandson.
Yep.
She didn't have any kids of her own, so she would call me. So you're my only grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And I was her first kiss since her departed husband.
That's right.
Yeah.
She said
I kissed on the cheek.
And she said, "That's the first kiss I've gotten since I buried my husband."
Yeah.
Give me another one. Let me show you this picture. Thank you, Bartee, for pulling this picture out. I hope I don't get no glare on it. This was all of us one time up north. You can see I had on a sweater. And she just her
in Detroit.
Her and her chocolate man. So let me tell you a little bit. Yes, Jasmine, she might have been a cougar. She might have been. She might have been. She had a long, beautiful history, and I don't want to eulogize her, but I do want to give a shout out to Teresa Jordan, Triumphant Magazine. She actually called me today and prayed with me and for me and allowed me to share some stories about Grandma Liz. And sometimes, you know, you don't want to call somebody just so they can cry on the phone and talk about the dearly departed, but a true friend, a true sister will let you do that. So shout out to Teresa and Auntie Gwen, because she's always done that for me. So thank you. But Grandma Liz was my step grandmother, but it didn't feel like it because she was married to my granddaddy for 60 years. She was there, but she was just there. She's always in my life. There was, I didn't know what a step was. She never called me her step grand. I was her grandbaby.
Yeah, and the first time I met her, when we went up to Detroit, what she did, my wife explained that her and the girls was coming up, She was staying at a retirement village, and somehow, well, I don't know how she did it. She was that type of a lady. I think she used to sell coffee. I think her husband used to do that in the lobby.
Oh, yes. Granddaddy sold coffee
Yeah.
to everybody in the lobby. And when Granddaddy passed, Grandmama took it over. She
started doing it. But anyway, when we got up there, boy, we had a feast. She had them people, fix all kind of food.
She did.
It was, and plus her conversation, very nice woman she was. And as we continued to visit and she kept calling me her only grandson.
She would call the house, and I said, "Hey, Grandmama, where my grandson? Well, how you doing, Grandmama? Oh,
yeah.
I just want."
I don't really remember my grandparents, so I adopted two. Grandma Liz is one of them,
and Grandma Pearl.
And Grandma Pearl,
yeah,
is another.
Now let me tell you something.
I call them Grandma when they call here. Talk to Angie.
That's true. Let me tell you some wisdom that I learned from these two women, Grandma Liz and Grandma Pearl. Both of them were married to my granddaddy. Grandma Pearl was married to him first, and Grandma Pearl in Orlando, she is my dad's mom. Well, you know how things go. People go their separate ways and they divorce, and so granddaddy married Grandma Liz. So you would think there would be some kind of animosity or something between the two of them, but because they respected each other, they was both Christians. I ain't gonna say church women. Yeah, they was mothers of church, but they were Christians because they believed in the Lord and loving all people so much. They would call each other on the phone and check in on each other. They would look out for each other for years. And even when Grandma Pearl left Detroit and moved to Orlando, she would still call and they would still. And so if you got some beef right now with your with your spouse's ex or spouse's baby mama, baby dad, you need to cut that. Because if these women could reconcile, they wasn't going to the park together and nothing. They wasn't, but they was looking out for each other. If they can reconcile, then anybody can. In fact, last time we saw Grandmama, there was an elephant in the room. He turned one way in the car. I wanted him to turn another way. He thought and so by the time we got to see her, she was, glad to see us, but she felt the elephant.
She ain't felt nothing. Angie wasn't told. And
I said he did this, and you said,
and I said what you did.
Mm-hmm. She
did that. So she told us you're both wrong. Y'all kiss, make up,
kiss it out.
Yeah.
You gonna give me a kiss?
Grandma here.
Thank you. Mm.
Grandma ain't here now,
and it's still a lesson learned.
Yeah,
see that you learn a lesson and then you don't want to follow it.
Still got that's another lesson. But I'm saying she was a, God rest her soul. But since we're on that subject matter,
okay, and this is getting over the hump.
And this is getting over the hump. We know everybody deal with the loss of a loved one differently.
Correct.
I guess my mom died. I was 11, and my dad, I just got out of prison. I think he died like 8 days once I got out.
Yeah.
But I guess my heart has just been where, since my mom's been deceased for a long time, it's just, but not hard because, I believe for me, everybody always talk about going to another place. You mentioned that earlier, to a better place. And I believe that. And I also believe that God, calls you when he want to call you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we try to hold our loved ones back from going to a better place. Again, it all depends on what you believe in,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on what you believe in. Don't pay me no mind. Mm-hmm. Sometimes our loved ones try to hold the parents or the cousins or the sons, whatever, mm-hmm. from going to a better place. that God has prepared for them.
Well,
and but then again, I'm saying everybody do grief differently. I know that,
yeah.
but when my time come, whenever it come, ready or not, you got to go. I mean, that's life. You're born to die. I mean, that's just how it is. And I know a lot of people don't accept it like that, but I do. Ready or not. So when it's my time, uh, if God's will for me to be saved by a doctor, I'm sure He'll do that. Mm-hmm. I really believe that. But if God calling me and doctor, ain't nothing you could do, because it's a lot of times doctors tell you, you ain't got but 6 months and shit. You can live 5, 10.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cursed, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Doctors have told you all this, but you put your faith in the doctors, put your faith in God. God, He's the instrument that runs the doctor's hands, or the nurse's hands, or whatever. If you really, that's what you believe. If you really believe that He's in control of whatever, whatever it is, He's in control. Yep. And if He decides for you to, come see Him, then you go see Him. Bottom line to that. But for me, that's how I grieve, really, knowing that God, if He calls you, you there. I mean, regardless of what, ready or not. So
we got a comment.
Okay.
Somebody said, how do you deal with a relative that don't like going to funerals and won't go, and when you believe they need to pay their respects? How do you deal with that?
You don't deal with it. I'm one of those type of guys. A lot of funerals I don't go to. I mean, because I want to see the person.
Well, let me back up a little bit. Nobody likes going to funerals. Let's just put it that out.
Well, they ain't got nothing to do with it. You say the person, if he don't want to or she don't want to go, then they don't have to go. Okay. I mean, if you see, like me, I see you. I want to see you. We party. We have our fun together. When I see you, I see you. I don't necessarily have to see you in no casket. I mean, you can't do you. I ain't doing nothing for you. You going to the glory land. I mean, that's why when I said earlier about the roses, see the people, talk to them. That's your friend, your buddies, your relative. See them. And so y'all have all y'all fun together. You got the memories left of whatever happened in your life. That's just me. Again, that's just me. Sometimes a funeral, I won't go. I really don't want to see all that crying. And for me, I don't want to see all that. I seen you while we was kicking it together. We having fun. We laughing. We jiving. I don't really want to see myself in the casket. That's probably another reason I hate, because I know one day it's coming. When I go to funerals, I say, shoot, one day, man,
I told you I ain't putting you in a casket.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, on the back, for me. So if that person, whatever reason they give you, I mean, accept that, because I'm sort of like that myself. So, I'm gonna hang with you. We're gonna have fun. And I'm gonna live off the memories. I ain't, if you in a box, I don't know, whatever reason people go, they say I don't know. I don't even go to my relative graves. My mother's died. My mother's dead. My father's dead. My brother's dead. He buried in D-land. I don't go to the gravesite. He ain't there. I mean, that's personally for me. His spirit is gone. Ain't nothing there but bones. So I don't want to talk to bones.
However, I do appreciate the fact that one of the last times we were in Detroit, you went with me to visit my grandparents' grave sites. There was Grand Ruby, Granddaddy Cavorser. No, he was not named after Cavassier. That's a whole different story. Granddaddy Cavorser and Gram's mom, my great grandmother, who we called Big Mama, and they all were in a row.
Yes, I did.
We could find Grand and Granddaddy, but I couldn't find Big Mama. And then you found like a little sliver of a headstone, and you went and got this big knife from the car. I didn't know where with it big old
Got it from my neighbor.
Sam-
I mean, it's big long knife.
sumo wrestler, samurai sword looking thing. And you got down there and you cleaned because the grass had begun to grow around it. You cleaned it and you cleaned it and you worked up a sweat and then we put some soda pop or something. We poured it over.
Yeah, so you could read the name.
And so even when we don't like visiting the gravesite, I would hate for somebody to be lost because there wasn't any gardening. I look forward to taking my daughters. They don't want to go to Detroit just to, visit the gravesite. But that's another piece of wisdom that I learned from Grandma Pearl. She talks about every year, Memorial Day, she'll go clean off the grave sites, put some new flowers. She likes the plastic ones to get some new. And then that's it. It's a way of showing respect by keeping their area clean. And she said it's like if somebody dead laying on the street, you don't just let them lay there. You take off your coat and cover them up. It's a sign of respect. So I think that was something wonderful that I learned from my grandma. You do it out of respect. You do it out of respect. We got another comment.
Okay, understandable. You do it out of respect, but you keep just like the movie. What's the name with the little boy at the guitar and his family? He had to keep them alive in your heart. You talk about them all the time. You pass it on from generation. You talk about them. That's why that's the respect. You always, a lot of people, just like
when you hear us,
I don't know, people die. Take Kobe Bryant. Now, when he first died, oh man, I'm just saying him because when he first died, I mean, now you hardly hear anything about Kobe, and I'm sure a lot of people thoughts ain't about Kobe, but if his name come up, then you remember.
Again, I've heard people say that that's out of respect. There are cultures where you don't mention the person's name right after they've passed away because they feel like the deceased soul keeps hearing you call them, so it's difficult for them to move on. I hate to go there. I watched the episode.
I don't know. I don't believe that.
But I watched the episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and they were investigating the loss of a little 9-year-old and his parents. They called them gypsies, and at one point, Detective Benson was talking to the parents and called the little boy's name, and the mother freaked out. She was like, "Well, what happened?" And the father said, "We can't call his name now because he is dead and he cannot move on." So, and I've heard other people say they don't want to speak the person's Kobe Bryant's name around his wife because it just brings up tears. It doesn't allow the person to move on. Now, I can't speak to that effect because I'm always talking about my mama.
Yeah, so you're keeping her alive. Woo! You got to keep it alive. Keep it alive in your heart.
Listen, we got a comment from Josh, and I don't know, this might be Josh's first time watching. Thank you, Josh.
Hey, Josh, welcome to the family.
Welcome. We're usually a little bit more lighthearted, but tonight this episode is dedicated to Grandma Liz, Maddie Liz. And Josh said, grandmas are usually always the centerpiece of the family that keeps the family together. Now, that's for sure. That's not just in Tyler Perry world.
Well, so, and families that really hold that tradition are true. The oldest one normally everybody goes see the grandmas. You know how that go. If you got a tight family, knit family, y'all know how that works out. Some people don't have that type of family structure, but if you do, grandmas, you know how that go. Still great grandmas too. If your great grandma living, she the boss. You know how that go. That's right.
And aunties too, because one of the things that I loved about your family was the stories that you all tell about how when your mother passed away, you were 7 or 8, your mom passed away, and you guys were living in Akron, Ohio, and your auntie was living up in New York someplace, left her home, left job, people, associates, whatever she was doing,
she did.
and moved in with y'all to help finish raising y'all.
Well, that's good family structure.
I mean,
you got a good family.
Because I told my sister, if something happened to her, Sandra B coming to Daytona. I am not about to move.
There's gonna be some changes made too.
I'm not about to move to Michigan. I'll let her finish out the school year, but by that summer, it's on and popping. But these were lovely lessons that I learned from your family. They were lovely acts of love from family members.
Well, that's what family do. For me, that's. I'm sure my family is not the only one. You have some people that taking in cousins, aunties. You don't want them to go into the system.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you're a family member and you got somebody family that passed away, please take in those kids. That's your family. Don't let them go into the system. But it's good when you have family. I really didn't realize how lucky I was at that time when my aunt came down from New Rochelle, New York, to take care of us. She was a little strict, like I say. She was real strict, and
are you the auntie that would leave your home and go?
She had a nice big home too.
Oh, Lord Jesus!
Yeah, okay. But we had a nice small home.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So she left her big home and came to a smaller home with the 4 of y'all.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people coming from. My mom was originally from some part of Florida, Macedago or something, and a lot of relatives came from Sanford, from the south, coming to the north, stayed in the house, and it all worked out.
Y'all didn't have to go in the system. Listen, let me show y'all. This is our last month, because the event is happening November 13th. Blossoming Blushing Princesses and the Princes are still looking for volunteers to help with an event celebrating girls and boys. There are different ways you can help. It takes place in Michigan. You can sponsor a child. You can come in and braid hair, cut hair, do some care packages, financial contribution. Again, this is the 3rd annual event, and it takes place at the Southwest Sport Club on Burke Road in River Rouge, Michigan. We've been talking about this for Sister Karina for a few months now, because we just didn't want to wait to the last minute. Y'all know how sometimes we wait to the last minute to do something.
CP time.
And the beautiful thing about this event is when I talked to her on the phone, she said she was a child that went from foster care to foster care to foster care with her, garbage bag full of clothes and toys, and if she had, anything. And at every foster care home, she was almost like the only Black girl there. And so by the time she was going to school, the kids would tease her because she didn't know how to do her hair. She didn't know about her personal hygiene. She just had no one to teach her. So she founded this annual event to bring in some children to try to introduce them to things that they may not have anyone else to introduce them to. And praise God, through an association with my sister, I know at least 3 sisters that will be attending this event, because they are now living with their aunt. And the aunt is, I heard the aunt is a little overwhelmed. She took in 3 sisters. But this is the reason why this event is so important. So it's taking place on Saturday. I can't believe we're going to be in Michigan until Friday, and we won't be able to get there. But I still want you guys to show your support. Please send a Cash App, Karina Towns. For more information, contact us, and we'll give you the phone number. But it takes place next Saturday, and so I would be grateful if y'all would show up and show out.
And when you take, I'm sorry. And when you take your kids, whoever you take in, please don't just take them in for the money, because the government take them in because you love them and you want to care for them, and you respect whoever left them behind. You want to carry that name on and let them know that their mom or dad, stood for something.
And I'm telling you, we're good. We are good about sending money because the Humane Society and the puppies are out in the cold. We good about sending money to, this is just me on my soapbox. We good about sending money to Africa, to the starving children. We good about doing everything outside of our community and not taking care of home. There's probably a foster child or somebody right around the corner from you that could use some help. Now, Grandma Liz taught, that was another lesson I learned from Grandma Liz. She did not have children of her own. She didn't. And she told me a story about how Granddaddy used to tease her about that. You ain't got no kids. You can't have no kids. And she said originally it would hurt her feelings and send her to tears. But after a while, she was like, I don't need no kids. You got a child over here, child over there, child. That's how married folks talk to each other, But she was dedicated to children. She was dedicated to spreading the gospel. I learned some evangelism tactics from Grandma Liz. Sonia, my sister, likes to tell the story about how our mother enrolled Sonia and Tanya in after school Bible study in elementary school, 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. And so the first time she went to the after school Bible study, she saw this lady and she kept looking and kind of found out it was Grandma Liz teaching the Bible study. Grandma Liz didn't care that she didn't have children that she birthed. She believed in taking care of kids in her own neighborhood, in our own communities. We need to do more.
Yeah, we need to do more, but stay in your lane.
Okay.
I say that, but some folks don't need to have no kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
What you talking about?
Well, some folks don't need. They ain't taking care of the ones they got. So don't go out there because some money out there and go get you some foster kids. You having problems at home with raising your own kids. I don't think it's going to be easier just raising foster kids because you can tell them what to do and you go send them back at a period of time if you want to. Stay in your lane. Some people are meant to do that, and some people are not. I'm one that's not. I'll mentor, but no, I don't think I'll be good with foster kids. Some people just like when you work the system with children, families.
Okay.
Some people don't need to be doing that job. Really not. All you really need is a college degree. And you can get those jobs easy. But then a lot of people burn out because that's not what they was assigned to. God didn't put them on them jobs. I know you're trying to make a living, but if that job ain't for you and you dealing with people's lives, that's just like having extended, how many ever clients you got, families. That's a hard job to have and really treat it. It really is. I can't. To me, that
soapbox.
No, I ain't on no soapbox. It's been like that. I know how it is. I didn't deal with that, but I know people. You. Well, we're gonna get off that. We're gonna talk about grandma.
And this is something that I was able to share with Grandma that she was pretty excited about. This is a book, Emerging from the Curve: Stories from West Village Academy Students. Angie B. and Bartee Productions was honored to get these students that you see on the screen. They attend the school in Michigan. And we had a virtual writing workshop with them. They wrote their stories. We narrated them and turned them into audiobooks. And then our publisher picked up the project and turned it into the book, the soft cover book, Emerging from the Curve. And I remember telling Grandma Liz, we got this little book with these little kids and they talking about going through things in the pandemic. And she was like, I'm so glad you did that because ain't nobody thinking about kids in the pandemic. They so busy thinking about jobs and not getting sick and bearing folks. Is anybody checking in with the kids and how they doing? Grandma Liz really, truly had a heart for kids, not just her granddaughters and her great granddaughters. But I tell you, she had a little twinkle in her eye for Sandra B, her other great granddaughter.
Yeah, yes.
She
Although she didn't see her that much, she always talked about her granddaughter, because when we was over there a couple of times, Sandra drew pictures.
Yeah.
Once she drew pictures of
of
Grandma Liz.
Grandma Liz had lost sight in one eye due to glaucoma, I believe it was. And so Sandra B, she's an artist. She draw it like she see it. She got one black eye, one white eye, and she drew it. And Grandma Liz got the biggest kick out of that. That picture stayed on her refrigerator. We would go over, and I'd be like, Grandma Liz, you want me to put something on the stove? You want me to get something out the fridge? No. And then I go in there go that picture, still on the refrigerator. She loved us some Sandra.
Yeah, she loves she loved her people. So that's what's good about life. No one's perfect on this earth. No one. So just try to have a kind heart. Treat people like you want to be treated. Everybody's life's different. We still on the outside looking in.
Keep the lines of communication open.
Yeah, if you so desire. Sometimes it's reason why you don't want to communicate with people. I got some people I don't want to communicate with.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of communicating, hi, Fran. I'm glad you're watching this week.
Hey, Fran.
A couple of weeks ago, your brother was calling you out. How you going to come to Disney and not see us?
Yes. I'm
glad you watching this week. Oh, God.
We talking about grandma now, but how you gonna come way down here and only come see us? Or you call us and say, let's meet somewhere.
She went to go see Grandma Pearl.
That's good. Well, we in Daytona Beach. You've been here before.
Lord,
I'm calling you out. Yeah.
Hi, friend. Hi, Noah. I got your voicemail. Noah called. Did I tell you? Noah called me after surgery. And I got it on the voicemail. I got 30-something saved voicemail messages so I can go back and listen to Noah's little voice. And we just calling to check on you. And I'm like, who is that?
Should have called while you was down in your grandma's house. We would have came down there and met you down there. Yeah, I'm on you for a while.
No, it was so cute. He's like, we just checking on you. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It was just,
Noah, y'all got a YouTube, huh?
And then the end of the voicemail, you hear, Fran, we ain't got no YouTube channel. It's just cute. Noah, I hope I see you next week. That's one thing about gathering for a funeral. It's a sad occasion. It's completely inconvenient. You got to come up off some money for transportation, for accommodations, for flowers. You got to come up with it. But
it's sad if you make it sad.
But then when you think about it, there's some cousins there, Kim and Ceedie. They said they're going to see us while we there. And hopefully Fran and Noah. And so, I remember one time Tanya, my sister Tanya, wanted us all to come to Detroit for an occasion that wasn't a funeral. Because it seemed like every time she saw us, it was because we were coming in for a funeral. And so I like what you're saying, Bartee, about see your people while you can. So you don't have to just go see them at the funeral. Go see them while you can.
Yeah, that's just me. I mean, everybody gonna do what they do anyway. I mean, again, we just make conversation. This for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
If you can take something we say out, hey, ride with it.
Grandma Liz also said it's not worth it to hold grudges. She said, it's just not worth it. If you think somebody ain't doing you right, treat them as good as you can. Love them.
Well,
love to hate off of them. Love to hate off of them.
You gotta be hating a person. You just don't want to be bothered with them. That don't mean you hate them. You just don't be bothered with them.
What if you related to them?
What difference does that make? If a snake shows you he's a snake and you know a snake will bite, then you treat him like a snake and he'll bite. That's the thing. People show you who they are. Then that's me. You do. People do you do. I'm just saying. Once you show me who you are, I ain't gotta hate you, but I ain't gotta be around you either. I ain't gotta,
Okay.
That's right. Everybody got their own reasons for doing what they do.
Okay.
The only person you got to answer to is God when you get up there.
Okay.
I say that myself because a lot of times, I'm bad at forgiving. But
What to
my forgiveness is different. So when you get up to heaven, you want God stuff that you done. Hey, can you forgive me, God? So that's you're gonna have to deal with it. I know I'm gonna have to deal with it.
You're gonna deal with some stuff.
I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Hey, Sister Teresa, I was just thanks for watching.
She a nun?
No, she's my sister, Teresa.
Oh, okay. I thought she's nun, sister.
No, her husband is not gonna allow her to be a nun. Hello, Teresa Jordan.
You said Sister Teresa.
With Triumphant Magazine.
Hey, Teresa.
Hello, my darling. Let me just say, y'all know I love Superbook. 4:00 Monday through Friday. I'm gonna be in front of the TV because Superbook is coming on. And this week, Superbook aired the Job story about how Satan went to heaven and went and approached God, and God said, "What you been doing?" "Well, I've been walking the earth to and fro, trying to see what kind of trouble he can get into." And God told him, "Well, you can have at it with Job. He loves me and he's good and faithful, and y'all can go look up the rest of the story." But the bottom line, my point was, all throughout the cartoon, Job kept praising God when all his children got killed, praising God. When all his livestock gone, God, he was burning, he was putting they did a sacrifice to God. That was the way they praised God. And he was always praying. And his wife even said, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" And he was like, "You sound like a foolish woman." And the story told us later on she was dead too. But all throughout the trials and tribulations, he continued to praise. And sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, sometimes you get so tired of stuff happening, you forget to praise. I had surgery. I'm in this cast. I'm in this wheelchair. Bartee, I don't want to ask Bartee to take me nowhere because he got to take me, the chair. It's a lot. I had a fall. And now, my shoulder, I fell on my shoulder and my wrist. And don't want to complain about that. You just learn to do everything left-handed, and in the middle of everything, we lost Grandma. And that's exactly what happened in that episode of Superbook. The little boy in the story, he was in a cast. He broke his arm. He was in a cast. And then his granddad died. And he was like, "Why is all this bad stuff happening to me?" And I just had to laugh today and laugh to myself while Teresa was on the phone praying with me and bringing me to praise, because I just finished watching the very same episode, and it leads you from weeping will endure for a night. It leads you to the joy that comes in the morning. So Teresa, thank you for ushering in some sunlight for the joy that's coming for the morning. Teresa said we too funny, but Jasmine is cracking up that we call Teresa a nun.
No, you said Sister Teresa, and that's only sisters that I know is nuns. You had to explain to me. But now that you said who it was,
in Christ.
No, it's different. I mean, I didn't know. Maybe we had somebody listening to us from Rome.
Yeah, the Pope tunes in. Now that we're on YouTube, yes, we are on YouTube. And I believe we're streaming live on YouTube. You can search for Angie B and Bartee live on YouTube. The more technology that God presents us with, the more ways we're going to try to get the word out there. So, yes, we have a new YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it and share it. It's especially because we know some people are not on Facebook. So please share that. We're excited because God is continuing to enlarge our territory. We submitted for a TV show.
You submitted for a TV show.
I asked you about it beforehand.
Yeah, you did. I don't remember you asking me about it. You told me about it.
I told you about it.
Yeah,
and I said, "Do you want to audition for it?" And you wanted to know how much they pay.
I sure did.
Mm-hmm. So we submitted for Antonio King Ali's TV show, and he put it all on Facebook. We got the parts.
We got the lead parts. I'm gonna be Mr. Brown.
No, Mr. Jones is your name.
I'm gonna be Mr. Brown.
I'm not gonna let you have no plaid. You
I ain't wearing no. I'm
plaid.
wearing what I wear.
Oh,
We
Jesus.
already discussed that with the producer.
Oh,
I ain't know. I just said I'll be Mr. Jones.
And I'm Mrs. Jones, and
we got a thing going on.
Oh my goodness, baby.
We both gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Can't let our hopes build up too high.
Oh, honey.
Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Mr. Jones.
I'll be Mrs. Jones.
So I'm gonna ad lib. I asked him, could I ad lib? I ain't gonna remember all them lines. I can't remember half the lines of my songs I say.
It's supposed to be a weekly series that will air early next year on CW17 and Roku and a few other stations. I can't remember right now. I want to give a shout out to Antonio for, you know how you have Facebook friends, y'all. And you chat with them every now and then, but then you go back and start scrolling, about the relationship. Antonio and I have been doing things in the kingdom together for 10 years. When I was scrolling back, I was like, that's right. We did do a tour thing with him and the Gospel Kingdom Explorer. That's right. We did do. That's right. That's right. So when Bartee asked me about him, because Bartee gonna ask about some man, that may be doing something. I was like, well, we go back for a minute. So I
ain't asked about him in that regards.
Oh, how you ask?
I have faith in my woman. If my wife, or either my woman or if whoever
it's
I'm
only
dating.
A wife.
Well, I'm just saying whoever, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be with you. That's one thing,
that's for sure.
Right? I ain't gonna be second guessing. I mean, the light is shine. Mm-hmm. I don't play that.
So let us tell you about the show. It's called Back to Family. They do have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page has videos of the pilot that they shot already. And so you'll see a Mr. and Mrs. Jones, but they were there for the pilot, and we're coming in as a couple that has been married for 30 years, and they have 2 grown children, and both of those children, the son and the daughter, are living at home because COVID and other situations. And so it's a comedy. I'm excited to be able to communicate with Antonio. I talked to him about the fact that right now I'm in a wheelchair. He's willing to work with that. I reminded him that I am alopecian. I don't mind coming on the show with a wig as long as I get to change wig every week.
I don't think she need to wear a wig.
But I'm going to snatch that thing off when I get home, and we get a chance to spread alopecia awareness through the show as well. So anytime we can do that, anytime. I need to tell them about mental illness. We may need to talk about that.
It's going to be good. If it's based upon us,
then
we the main characters, then they have to write the script in.
Yes.
So and he's willing to do that. So
I haven't said too much about it because really I'm, medical leave, and it's been a lot going on. So I appreciate the thoughts and the prayers. I'm excited about doing a show with you, Bartee.
We do a show all the time. We do a show every Wednesday night. Get on the Hump with Angie B.
This just us Wednesday night.
That's how it's gonna be. Hey, y'all better. Whenever we get this completed, y'all better stay tuned. Shoot, I mean, I ain't taking nothing away from Mr. Brown, but I can act now. I can act the fool, in fun ways. I'm talking about. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be fun. So y'all tune in.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a blast.
I know Antonio is not watching tonight because he's celebrating his wife's birthday. His wife is Lady Energy, and Lady Energy has a cooking show on the network. So I'm excited about meeting both of them. Lady Energy reached out to me and said, "I'm your daughter on the show," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's gonna be."
She was cooking that food, like Weight Watching food. They was cooking. Hey, I want some. Hey, and part of our purpose is we're gonna get fed. Now I asked them about that. I want some food. I don't want no carrots and no celery sticks and no blue cheese ranch dressing.
He ain't gonna give you no chitlins.
I don't want no chitlins. This is a Sunday or something.
Shout out to the city of Palm Coast for having Bartee entertain at their recent truck rally. I put highlights of his performance. And in the middle of the truck rally, the food truck rally, he asked for some chitlins.
Yes, I did. I would like to get some for this Christmas or Thanksgiving, but I know everybody don't know how to cook chitlins. So I got to search around. I found somebody to make me a pound cake. I pick it up Friday.
Oh Lord,
$20.
Mm-hmm. And then we leave Monday, so that means you either gonna have to freeze half of it or eat it all weekend. Remember, we leaving Monday.
Yeah, well, I like pound cake, so it might be. No, I'll give. I don't know. We have to work this out somehow.
All right, do your shout outs. We got plenty tonight.
All right. Well, we had a question. I stopped you in the middle of you were saying something. I kept. What was the question?
Well, do the shout outs while I think of.
Okay, shout out to my brother Ed and his lovely wife Jolene.
Hi, Jolene. I love you.
Down in Compton, California, and my niece nephew.
Yeah.
My hometown, Akron, Ohio. Brother Al. Sister Linda. Pinky. Sheila.
Did you say Linda?
Yeah.
Yeah. You still ain't called her since her birthday.
Let me tell my business.
Saying,
I have called her. Well, I didn't call her really, but yeah, I told you said you emailed. Anyway, hope Pinky don't see this. Hope Linda, she might. Anyway, Linda,
we on YouTube birthday. Now. They gonna see it. Shout out to Brenda, your sister Brenda. Oh my God!
Don't get started.
When I just want to cry on the phone, and I don't want to worry my daughters, I call Brenda.
Yeah, women are so emotional.
Brenda.
Yes.
I
love you. Call my sister, and they talk and talk and talk.
I call her when I ain't feeling good. I'm like, Brenda, is this mental or is it a physical thing? Should I call my doctor? I don't want to be like a hypochondriac, but I call Brenda first.
You need to call her first. You make the decision what it is.
Oh, here we go again.
That's right. She'll nurse. She'll know.
I'll call her and give her my symptoms, and she'll tell me.
Shout out to who else? Shout out to my Atlanta crew.
Oh Lord.
Mega 4, Charles, Jimmy Jam,
the crew,
Doc, and also he texted me too. I got to text him back. He plays guitar. Shoot.
When you hear a sad guitar, remember me. What's the name of that song, Jasmine?
And shout out to
what's the name of that
Teak Dog.
Oh,
Dayton, Ohio.
What? Tiki, I'm telling you now, you have left an impression upon this household. I was talking to my husband, and he said, "What?" 2-3 times, and I said, "Okay, Tiki," and he bust out laughing. I saw his tonsils. He bust out laughing.
Tiki,
we love you.
David Ruffin, his wife Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn. Who that woman that keeps sending us them magazines? That's real good.
That's Charles Parker's wife.
Charles Parker's wife. She's a real estate agent, and she, I guess they sent out a quarterly magazine talking about, the real estate market and stuff like that. But every now and then, it's got some cute. I mean, we ain't selling, we ain't buying, but it's good to stay informed. We might need to refinance, but it's
no, we ain't gonna refinance. I already had a low rate unless it gets in the twos.
Oh well, okay.
But I ain't finished my shout out.
Okay, Angelin, you want to give a shout out? Okay. Oh, Angelin wants to shout out. I give a shout out to Angelin. This was her. October 31st was her 1-year anniversary to Christopher. And she woke up that morning. She had her afro because Christopher loves her afro. She had her afro ready. She had her clothes on, and she was making him some jalapeno bacon cornbread for breakfast. And I said, "I'm so proud of you, but where's the beef? Where's the protein?" And she said she was going to put some grapes on the side. I said, "Good, but where's the beef?" Asked the boy if he wants some bacon or sausage or something. And she asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I want bacon." So, Angelin, I'm so proud of you. 1-year anniversary. You still in there being a good wife.
How you going to make the man some jalapeno cornbread?
I'm so proud of you.
What kind of breakfast is that for anniversary? And then, 1 year.
And then she dressed up in her Wednesday Addams costume and passed out handfuls of candy. It was a tractor trailer full of kids that came down their neighborhood, and she was passing out candy and had to send Christopher to the store to get some more candy because she was double fisting, giving out hordes of candy. And so I tell you.
Did she keep her hair out?
She had her pigtails like
She
Wednesday
did?
Adams. Yeah.
Oh,
She got
okay.
her little
All
Wednesday
right.
Adams outfit.
All right.
So that's
All
a
right.
shout out, Angela. And I'm just so proud.
All right, yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, they was like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
They're both of them smart. Both of them talk a lot.
Yep.
They know. You ask them about something, I don't know where they get all this information from. But well, their mom kind of smart too.
Oh, thank you. And you're wise.
Yes, I am. I'm very wise.
You're wise.
Common sense wise.
Okay, let me change the subject. Shout out to Jasmine.
Jasmine asked for one?
No, but I'm still giving Jasmine a shout out.
See, that's how mamas do. They don't leave nobody out.
And not do for the other.
There you go.
One's birthday, the other one get a gift.
There you go. See?
Anyhow,
there you go.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine.
Jasmine had a rough incident that happened this week, and she handled it with class and wisdom.
Okay. There you go.
Jasmine saw a kitty cat get hit by a car. She and her husband, Eric, scooped up the kitty and called up. They called somebody older. They called Angelin and said, what do we do? Angelin told her what to do. They met up and they handled business. The kitty cat is in heaven, thanks to the vet.
See, that's what God angels. That's what I'm saying. People do stuff like that. I don't think I would have, but that's what I'm saying. God got people in this earth to do different types of things. You know what I mean? And that was a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
Because it costs money
to put a pet down.
They took the pet to the vet, cost money. Now, I'd have got out and I'd put the cat to the side or something like that, but I wouldn't have took the cat to the vet. And I'm saying, God got people working everywhere. I mean, you see these things, and that's a blessing.
Just knowing that Jasmine was there at the right time to help the kitty go to the kitty's next home, and she didn't have to do it by herself. I'm grateful for Eric, who was there. I mean, it was only God that had both Jasmine and Ricky Ray coming home at the same time to see it. It wasn't like Jasmine had to run in the house and get her husband, and her husband like, what's going on? They were both there at the same time. And Angela was able to be there not only for her little sister, but for the kitty cat, to hold the kitty cat while they help the kitty cat to relax. So I give a shout out and kudos to my daughters for not only taking care of each other and their siblings and their other set of parents. They take care of everybody. Jasmine's feeding the homeless at a church every other Saturday. She's volunteering in the community. I'm giving you a shout out, Jasmine. I'm so proud that y'all call me mom. I'm so proud that y'all claim me, because y'all are great people. Grandma Liz was proud of y'all. Y'all graduated high school. You got jobs. You didn't bring home no babies out of wedlock. You both got married. When your grandmama is proud of you, that's a badge of honor. That's a badge of honor. So this episode again is dedicated to Grandma Liz.
Grandma Liz, I'm only grandson.
Yes, you the only one.
Chocolate
grandson. We got a couple of new people watching. Shanita was one of our models at the beauty bazaar. She says, "Good evening." Hey, Shanita.
Hey. I hope you're coming back.
I think Shanita. Okay, because I know all the Baldies and the alopecia world on the East Coast over here. I know we're all planning to go to Annapolis, Maryland for June 18th. Jamie Elmore is doing the Bald Boss Parade again.
Juneteenth.
during the Juneteenth parade. I know Tamika Joseph is coming from Arizona.
Tamika.
So we'll get to see Tamika, Tazzy. I think Shanita, I think I read somewhere Shanita may be going. Shanita, if you don't know nothing about it, go contact Jamie Elmore. She'll tell you about it. I know Tiffany Tyson Green is looking like she's going. So it's going to be like a mini Baldy reunion when we get up in Annapolis.
Well, they had a reunion. I mean, it was fantastic what they did. I would think it was the first they ever seen, and I don't know how many people they had, close to 100. Yeah. All of them ball and in uniform too, with t-shirts. Yeah. People looking, they didn't know what happened, what hit the town.
Yeah.
Something like Black Lives Matter. Can you imagine all the people going down the street ball-headed?
It was the pictures and the videos were absolutely awesome. Yes, Angie and Bartee are planning to be there. I think they just announced the hotel. So I got to get my ducks in a row to book our hotel room. We'll be in Annapolis June 18th for that weekend with Jamie Elmore and Bald Life and the Bald Bosses. Basically, it's the Juneteenth parade, and we're a part of the parade with our bald selves. So anyway,
they do it big, not like Daytona.
We did it big in Daytona. Shanita was doing her. You mean the Juneteenth? Well, yeah. We got to go out of town and set an example, and then maybe we'll come back and add something to the Juneteenth parade. But Shanita did her thing at the Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar, y'all. Angela and Jasmine was there. They remember. Shanita handled her thing. She
we had a good time there.
We did.
I'm very proud. And still talk about that to this day. I mean, the ladies really, I mean, it wasn't for them. I mean, it wouldn't be no show. I mean, they're the main attraction. Very nice. Very nice.
We wouldn't want to do it if it wasn't for them. Nah. That's the Michigan crew. That was the crew that we connected with in Michigan when we went in May. May was also the last time we saw Grandma Liz when we took her flowers. But
see how that blue set it off.
Yep, that blue set it off. And this is the Daytona Beach crew.
Bam!
This September. And
who that with the hair and the hair on?
That's Teresa Jordan, Triumphant Magazine. She's a sponsor. She can be up.
Who that with hair on?
And there's Tamika and Shanita, and I just love our little malted milk ball heads up there.
Man, it was going on.
Yeah.
Hey, better next time if you can get better.
It
all right, baby.
It's time to go. Feed me, Simo. I've gotten a little hungry. Okay, so. What we're going to do as we close out is we're going to ask for prayer for our traveling mercy. We're going to ask for the patience of Job as we, get ready to handle this homegoing. And I think we just going to close out in prayer, if that's okay with y'all, because Teresa started me off in prayer, and I want to close out today in prayer. So if you'll just join me. Father God, we thank you for the memories and the lessons learned from Grandma Liz. We thank you for the lessons that you have imparted in all of us. Your word tells us that the older women are supposed to teach the younger women how to keep their homes and keep their families and remain pure and remain your servants. And Grandma Liz definitely did that, from teaching Bible study to elementary school students, to traveling to Africa as a missionary, to being a founding member of the Puritan Street Church on Conant in Detroit. She and her buddy got the church going. And I remember when she called me and said, I'm helping to start this church. The pastor is a lady, and they don't like lady preachers, but I believe in what she's saying. Lord, I thank you for Grandma Liz. I thank you for all grandmamas. I thank you for those women that did not birth their own child, but accepted stepchildren and foster care children and other children and made them their own. Lord, I appreciate the family that is now taking care of the arrangements so that we can have a beautiful homegoing ceremony. I thank you for my husband, who said, oh yeah, we going, we got to go. We gonna be there. I thank you for him, Father. I thank you for the humps that we have in our lives, because it reminds us that you said patience and and long suffering is a part of the Beatitudes. It's a part of the way that we give you honor. Lord, if I have transgressed against any of your children, please teach me how to repair it and how to live holy and righteous, not just to glorify you, but to bring someone else to you through me. Lord, I thank you for this avenue every week to be able to share your goodness and mercy. And I pray that this episode reaches someone so that they too can remember their grandmas. In Jesus' mighty name, we love you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, you guys, we appreciate it. Bartee getting ready to get some dinner going. I thank you all for watching. I thank you for the hearts. I thank you for the love. Jasmine, I know you said you were a wreck and you handled it poorly, but Ricky Ray and Angeline did it. Sometimes that's all we supposed to do. All we supposed to do is cry sometimes. Weeping may endure for a night.
Well, them big draws.
But and she said your eyes was open during the prayer. So
be watching me.
We're gonna pray for him.
Don't be watching me.
Watch him. Later, y'all.
You